This is an examination of the hidden human condition.
This is the Hidden Killers podcast.
With Tony Bruschi.
Lori Hellis joining us again. I want to talk a little bit about Chad Daybell and where things are going to go from here for him. But before we get to that, at the very end of this trial, as she was being drawn away in handcuffs to jail, what do you think is going through Lori Vallow's mind? Is she still drinking the Kool-Aid?
I mean, her reaction when the verdict was read was classic Lori, and I think telegraphed clearly that she is still in that same mindset. She was not happy that they had mentioned Chad in the closing arguments and that they had somewhat focused on him. And she just stood there with her arms folded and gave the jury the stink eye as they left the courtroom. I mean, she was not cowed in any way.
What do you think? Do you think there's a chance that Chad will, at some point here now, throw Lori under the bus when it comes to his trial and make it look more like, well, I was influenced by her? I don't know how you'd really do that because the evidence doesn't really point to that, but I could see that being an attempted argument, and I'm honestly a little bit surprised that, I don't think he ever really needed to, and obviously they never called any witnesses for Chad to be throwing her under the bus during her own trial, but for his own defense, for his own well-being. Do you think he'll come out and say anything bad about her, or is he going to dig in just like she has, and, there's still the two that are going to rule Rexburg someday?
No, I think that Chad is more realistic, and I think that he is more likely to listen to his attorneys. And so I think there is an element of that will come out if he goes to trial. I think that's the one thing that she is worried about most, and that's just that that he is going to come out and say, "Oh, this blonde femme fatale led me down the primrose path," or grabbed me by the storm, and there we go.
Grabbed me by the storm.
I just think, from what I have heard, and this is all really anecdotal information. This is information that I haven't at this point not been able to confirm. Mm-hmm. But I have heard that he has pictures in his cell of his children and of Tammy, and not pictures of Lori Vallow. I've heard that he is the children who are still firmly behind him believe that he was set up, and that I think that is the tactic that he's going to take, that he was vulnerable, and he was taken in by the blonde bombshell and the promise of a very different life than he had in Rexburg with Tammy, and that she took advantage of that and used him. And yeah, I think that's certainly the defense we're going to see.
This is an examination of the hidden human condition.
This is the Hidden Killers podcast
with Tony Bruschi.
Lori Hellis, she was our guest. If you want to check out her website and her upcoming book, the LoriVallowStory.com is where you go. That book's set to be released next year, but you can follow her on that website. If you want to hear more with her, we're going to talk tomorrow about the Kohberger case. Press subscribe wherever you download podcasts so you don't miss any breaking updates and discussions on the cases that we follow for you right here. Get an ad-free experience through Apple Podcasts when you sign up there. Highly encourage you to do that. My name's Tony Bruschi. Stay with us.